Hello! I'm Liege and welcome to AU, aka Alternate Universes. In this series, I take one thing and put it into the world of another with the magic of drawing. Now, let's get started.
It was a simpler time. In my day, we had real television. Not your newfangled euphorias and Riverdales, but something...
LPS popular to be exact. If you were a young bean on YouTube during 2010 and a fan of LPS stop-motion videos, you probably witnessed the birth of one of the greatest teen drama series of all time. Written, filmed, and directed by Sophie GTV, LPS Popular transformed a favorite Hasbro toy into something oddly cinematic, and boy was it a hit. With a plot reminiscent of Mean Girls, LPS Popular was chock full of every high school trope imaginable, and infamously covered some fairly mature themes. Bullying, cheating, mental health issues, EDs. And while it covers these topics in a way that's a little problematic, and maybe aged a bit poorly, I do think we need to acknowledge that the creator was likely a tween or teen when this was made. It was never gonna be nuanced. Meanwhile, Mattel had just dropped the first run of Monster High dolls and a YouTube miniseries in May of 2010. Monster High dolls were basically the all-girl Barbie. What made them unique was their alternative sense of fashion and the fact that they were all based off of some sort of supernatural being, which really appealed to us weird emo kids. Like LPS Popular, Monster High was also a teen drama series that featured queen bees, jocks, rumors, and crushes, albeit a lot tamer than the stuff Sophie GTV was cooking. Some delusional little part of me always hoped for a live-action spin-off of LPS Popular, or even an animated series. Which got me thinking, I'm an artist, what if I drew LPS Popular characters in the style of the Monster High animated series? For some of my style swap videos, I plan to write the characters into the story I'm swapping them into, but I think it'd be kind of hard for this one, so I'm strictly doing this as an art swap. Summon thy pen and parchment, 'tis time to draw! Let's start with our main character. Savannah Reed is a 16-year-old girl from Montana who has just transferred to a new high school in California called Orange County Day, otherwise known as OCD. She starts out excited to reconnect with her childhood best friend, Brooklyn Hayes,
but immediately rejects her for not being cool enough.
Savvy's new friends, Genevieve Ryan and Angelina Davis, then give her a revenge makeover and she becomes the new popular girl almost overnight. For this video, I decided to draw both Savvy's nerdy look and her makeover look. First, I needed to find what Monster High girl I wanted to base her off of. I decided on a fusion between Claudine Wolfe and Draculara. Though I'm drawing this in the style of the 2010s web series and original box art, I wanted to base most of her look off of the newer dolls, specifically these two. I just think they're so cute and fit what I had imagined for Savvy as a Monster High character to a T. I knew I wanted Savvy to be an average weight and have a rounder, aptly body type similar to this new Draculara doll that strays from the standard angular body mold. Savvy unfortunately struggles with body dysmorphia throughout the entirety of the series.
Aren't you going to have any breakfast before you go? No, I'm not hungry. Bye! Savannah! It's your favorite. Pop-Tarts.
Again, it's not written in a very mature or accurate way, but it is an important part of her story. Like most teenagers, she really takes the bullying and unrealistic body standards of her high school to heart and engages in some pretty extreme behaviors as a way to try and fit in. Her family, many of her friends, and even her love interest, Sage, point out that she's always looked great and that they were never focused on her weight in the first place. While she doesn't fully overcome her dysmorphia, she does seem to become more confident in herself with time. Long straight into death 3C hair felt right for this before look. It resembled the long ears of the original Dash Hound LPS that Savvy started as. Plus, I think it's a good way to show her going through that phase of trying to fit into one standard. I was personally a victim of this canon event in the late 2010s, and girl, I just had wavy hair. Getting the fashion part of the design right was absolutely crucial, even for this phase of hers that lasted all but half an episode. At first, I wanted to keep the aesthetic of this in the 2010s when this series came out, which left me with some wild style options. Things like twee, scene, pastel goth, and fandom fashion. You know, the stuff you'd see on Tumblr, which posed a huge challenge for me in a weird way. Savvy just didn't give me this energy, in my opinion at least. First, I had to figure out what kind of aesthetic she would even have. When we first see her at OCD High, these are the outfits she picks. And the before look I see floating around the most.
Oh my god! What
a giant teal scarf. That's what I had to work with. Obviously, a lot of the constraints come from LPS not having a lot of clothing options, especially assuming the creators of LPS YouTube series are all unlimited budgets of a yearly birthday present. So pros, the fact that this means I can do whatever I want with the outfit. Cons, that the only point of reference I have to go off of is this fucking thing. But I like challenges. Challenges are good. So I just decided to brain vomit all over a new file just to try and get some ideas out there. I thought maybe the scarf could be a giant hoodie instead, but it didn't feel extra enough to be Monster High themed. Guya has some really good examples of what comfortable and chic wear could look like, so I tried to draw inspiration from that, but my brain gave up. So I moved on to the next thing. Maybe instead of a scarf, it could be a choker. Those were pretty popular for a while there. Plus, I definitely remember there being a flower version, and if there isn't one, I am inventing it right now. I opted for a sheer undershirt with a blue cami on top, oversized flare jeans with floral designs, and big platform shoes. It gave more modern Y2K than 2010s fashion, but I honestly don't mind. I wanted her overall pre-makeover look to be playful and accessorized the way a Monster High doll would be, just styled down a little to show that maybe Savvy isn't sure what style she has yet, or maybe doesn't have the confidence to fully embrace whatever she knows her style to be. This was my favorite look by far, but I played with 2 other wildcard options just to be sure nothing else was hiding in my noggin. For some reason, I just wasn't feeling the third option at all. I think it's just not giving anything in particular, even for Savvy's pre-makeover look. Maybe it's the long hair throwing me off. I guess I always just imagined her with shorter hair. The fourth option was kind of a love and hate vibe. I successfully channeled Monster High energy here, but it also felt a little too bold for our girl. I did play with the idea of adding shades or glasses on each of the designs just to see if it added anything, and honestly I'm kind of obsessed with it. They had a nice little pop of color while not standing out too much. It's also a cute nod to these glasses Savvy has. I was really tempted to stick to the original blue flower lenses, but it kind of overpowered the design, so I went with her green heart ones instead. The final illustration did take some time to get right. This is my first time trying to imitate a style like this, and it was stressing me out. I also wasn't really about the final draft's color palette and some of the detailing on the lace, so I changed it up to be a bit more to my liking. And this is the final look for pre-makeover Savvy. She turned out so cute and shy looking. Now for the absolute baddest of them all. Brooklyn Hayes, otherwise known as Brookie, who now goes by just Brooke, is the queen bee of OCD High. She is also the main antagonist of the series and Savannah's rival in both love and popularity. Brooke was super easy to design. I knew I wanted her to have a sharper silhouette than Savvy, so I gave her angular face features and sharp cat-like eyes that still mimic this round arch on the LPS model. As for her body shape, I wanted to stick with the traditional Monster High doll silhouette. Long neck, long limbs, sharp hands, and hips, the works. There were a few Monster High dolls that fit my vision for Brooke, Abby and Torlai being the main contenders. Brooke gives me 2000s cheerleader vibe, so I wanted her outfit to mimic that energy. I gave her a tight-fitting crop top and a low-rise miniskirt with side slits. She also gets these sparkly fishnet stockings and big, chunky platform heels. She had to be that girl who always showed up to class in full beat, perfect nails, perfect hair, perfect outfit. I gave her the most bleached out platinum blonde the world has ever seen with pink highlights and a little tinsel. And you know I had to give her that orange spray tan. It just felt right for a California girly, especially a high maintenance one like I imagine Brooke being. And having grown up in the neighboring state of Utah, this is just how I remember the popular girls looking. For her makeup, I basically copied Regina George's from Mean Girls. Since she's obviously based off of her, I started with a shimmery white shadow and thin arched brows. Her pouty lips are hot pink and her cheeks are dappled with the same bright shade to give her this naturally flushed look. She's giving Miss Bimbo Core, and I love that for her. At the end here, I did make some tweaks to her proportions. Her hand needed some length as it really wasn't matching the other, but other than that, she was perfect. Honestly, I was so damn proud of this design. One of my coworkers compared her to Sugar, and bitch, if that isn't the biggest compliment ever, I don't know what is.
Liking this video so far? Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. The crown thanks thee for thy patronage.
Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. Savvy's makeover look! I started with the most important change of all, the hair. Savvy's LPS base model entirely changes after the first episode, so initially it was kind of hard to figure out how I'd go about changing the hair since she apparently is supposed to look like an entirely different person. But after comparing the two LPS, I noticed two standout features that really make the new Savvy. The new LPS has a widow's peak instead of these swoopy bangs and has a more square-shaped silhouette. So why not a short copper silk press with some big waves to really complement her face? For her makeover outfit, I wanted her to do a complete 180 from the clothes she brought from Montana. Because the weather in Orange County would be a lot warmer, I mostly tried a combination of tank tops, shorts, or skirts. I was really enjoying the Y2K pop princess vibes I had with Brooke, so I wanted to keep the new Savvy style in the same aesthetic. I looked at a bunch of paparazzi photos and Pinterest boards for reference and was really inspired by these sort of flowy baby doll or Scoopy tops. They were all so cute, it made it really hard to pick just one style. So it was time to do a few thumbnails. For my first concept, I loved the idea of a classic low-rise skirt with a big chunky belt and some strappy sandals, kind of like something you'd see in H2O or Aquamarine. Some sheer sparkly tights could also be cute. I figured Savvy would still be a sunglasses kind of girl, but I bet Genevieve and Lena would have made her get a more sleek pair during their shopping spree. For the second look, I kept it more simple. I experimented with a layered glittery skirt and a swoopy top. Some jelly-type sandals seemed cute and beachy to me. I also gave her gold accessories to match her warm skin tone, things like bangles, a little anklet, a cute necklace, and a belly chain. Anyways, I really loved this look. For the colors, I thought a green and pink combo would be really, really pretty. I didn't realize until later I just turned Savvy into, well, a Arizona tea can. But I promise I fixed that later. I did a third concept as well. Another baby doll top and some big acid wash denim jeans. The small top, big pants combo has personally never done me wrong, and I swear I like this look, I really did. The flower patterns on the pants seemed like a good nod to her pre-makeover design. The little hip dangle and pearl necklace were chic too, but it still wasn't my favorite of the three. Definitely something I see her wearing, but didn't give enough wow factor for me in regards to this video. Design number 2 ended up being my favorite, so I started the line work for that. Part of me still really loved option 1, so I tried blending both looks and gave Savvy tights and glasses with this outfit. I like the glasses, but the tights didn't work the same on this one, I feel. I even added patterns, but the whole look just seemed too busy. So I said screw it, I just fully sent look 2. Her color palette does change quite a bit. Again, I was leaning more towards this sage green and pink combo, but I feared I might catch a lawsuit, so I shifted the colors to more ocean blue and magenta. It definitely feels more tropical to me, and the idea of blue as Savvy's theme color makes more sense to me from a narrative standpoint anyways. Of course, Savvy has her signature flower in her hair, a set of acrylic nails, and just little pops of pink throughout. I wanted her to look super summery and bright, like she's fully living her best beach girl life. It was at this point I realized she's looking more like a Bratz doll than a Monster High doll, but I'm already in too deep to change it, so have mercy on me, please! I love this design, and I just couldn't bring myself to redo it. Now for the boys.
Boys!
Girl, I had to do it to him. I had to make Sage the jockiest jock to have ever jocked. Sage Bond is the football captain at OCD High and the main love interest of both Savvy and Brooke. He is suave but also incredibly oblivious to what's going on around him. Imagine golden retriever boyfriend, but a collie. My high school was a huge football high school. Like, we regularly had students get drafted for the NFL or big college football teams, so literally all I had to do was combine every dude I ever knew who played sports. I gave him long wavy hair with a slight red tint to match his fur color. I thought this square shape for his hair and face would imitate the overall silhouette of his LPS vest. I didn't want him to be too sharp since Sage still has this puppy dog naivete to his personality that makes him him. So to have that read in his features, I gave him big soft eyes, this crooked smile with a dimple, and some little freckles. It just felt right. Like, this is real soft boy shit. The hardest part is the fashion, because I feel like guys' fashion is ass. Especially high school fashion, so I tried to reference Monster High's male dolls for some inspiration. And for real, what the fuck is this? What is this? What made it even worse is Sage didn't seem the type to really explore any alt fashion in my mind. Like, bro probably doesn't even look at what he grabs from the closet. So, of course, he's wearing his football uniform in its entirety, because everybody has to know he's the football captain at all times. There's just no other choice here. I did have to design the uniforms since there's no mention of them in LPS Popular. I decided the official school colors would be orange, blue, and white because Orange County, duh. Plus, it's already a pretty popular sports color combo as is. And of course, Sage Bond has to have the jersey number 07 since that's the closest I could get to 007. No idea what their mascot or team name would be though. If you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I essentially just had to make shit up, and do I think he gives Monster High? Not really, but do I feel this is the best I could do? Yeah, it is! Biz, Tom gave me so much more room to work with than Sage. Tom Dawson is the surprise love interest of LPS Popular. He's introduced as this bad boy character that's caught in a cheating scandal with Brooke.
Is your girlfriend here today? Nope. Perfect.
And transforms into this well-liked and sometimes dopey guy who still has issues but means well. He's also on the football team, though what position he plays is never mentioned as far as I remember. And he has this side plot as this really popular vlogger. He's this weird mix of jock, misfit, and influencer all wrapped into one. In my mind, he definitely experiments more with his style than Sage does, especially since he has this YouTuber thing going on. First, I had to figure out his face. That would kind of give me a better idea of who he is, and I could build his style from there. He ended up having the opposite situation of Sage. He has a rounder, softer face shape and big, angular eyes. I wanted him to have naturally long lashes as well to match his LPS. Finding a face mold I liked of the Monster High characters was uniquely difficult for these boys. In the end, I think Sage leaned more Claude with his soft upbeat look, and Tom leaned more Deuce with his angular cool look. For his hair, I gave him a boxy set of locks that had been bleached at the ends. I figured for practice he'd tie it up in a little low bun or something. As for his fashion, I opted for an oversized hoodie with color block sleeves to match his paws and some versatile sweatpants. I thought a little pearl necklace could be cute too. He also has some matching sneakers with brown accents. I wanted him to feel like a capsule wardrobe kind of guy, like anything he buys he could wear together, even if it's just lazy day clothes. I don't think I pointed this out previously, but both of the boys are wearing their championship rings and have matching team bags. I think Tom is a bit more low-key about playing sports since he's focused more on his influencer career, but is willing to rep the win at least. Oh, and I gave him a Thai tea boba. I don't know why, he just feels like he'd like boba. That's it for Tom though. Out of the boys, he's my absolute favorite in the series, and I think I did him justice with this look. And here's the final lineup. Overall, I'm really proud of how this turned out. I wasn't sure if I could really pull off the Monster High style, especially since I didn't put the main cast in alternative clothes, but I think it works. It's kind of like a sister school version in my brain. Not quite the same, but related for sure. Brooke's design ended up being my favorite overall just because it was the most similar to the Monster High vibe. I also thought she looked really preppy and like someone you could totally see being the queen bee of a high school. What design is your favorite, or what would you have done differently? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. By royal decree, have a wonderful day, and thank you for being a part of my little kingdom.
See you later, bye!
É tão engraçado lembrar que foi você mesma que veio um dia me procurar. E não é nada fácil eu agora me acostumar a não te ver e não